Okay, I don't want to set off any fire alarms in the mental state of anybody watching this video, but this Las Vegas Raiders game against the Cleveland Browns, it's probably as close as you're going to get to a must-win game this early in the season. And in this video, we're going to hop into some film, some comments, some concerns, some statistics about exactly what's at stake for this game and what we need to correct and fast. Because it's not just Gardner Minshew, it's not just the running game. There are a lot of little micro-managed details that we need to get into right this second. But first, my last video got 20,000 views and we passed 9,000 subscribers. If you are new to the channel, hit that sub button. Let's get to 10K. Let's have a little bit of positivity in what has been thus far an absolute nightmare of a football season. But I do think there are some correctable things that we can fix, like the Baltimore game. This Panthers game might have been a wake-up call, the exact thing we needed, and we're going to get down to brass tacks here and hop into some film and some statistics. Okay, the first and most glaring thing I want to talk about right off the bat is rushing yards per game. And if you look at the 2024 totals, we are the worst by a country mile. Chicago is the second worst, and they are gaining 20 more yards per game than us, which is an absolute nightmare. And a lot of people want to blame Zamir White, and a lot of people want to blame the line. We're going to talk about everything, the zone blocking scheme. We're going to get into some film here in a second. But what really hurts about this stat is not just that we are by far the worst team in the league running the football through 3 games. Last year, you can see in 2023 right here, we had 90 yards per game, which is still not great, but it's a lot better than 51. The thing that hurts the most is if you flip this, you look at the top rushing team in the league, it's the Green Bay Packers with Josh Jacobs. So that's not great. However, it is what it is. We let him go, and a lot of that is skewed because Malik Willis is rushing the ball a lot, but still, it's not great. Let's talk a little bit about the film here, and when we get into this is my guy Ted. He does film analysis on a lot of the Raiders stuff. We're going to watch some of the stuff he has to say here. But before we do that, and before we get into some stuff, because there's a lot to get into, there's a lot of line issues and missed assignments that are not helping Zamir White. I just want to talk about this for a second. If you look right here, 68% of you guys that are watching this video right now are not yet subscribed, but yet you keep coming back for more. Can we hit that sub button? And one other thing, if you are subscribed, 1,000 of you have notifications for this channel on. Only 8% of the subscribers have notifications turned on and have enabled YouTube notifications on your phone. So if you want to get my videos sent to you the second they get uploaded, just make sure you have all notifications and your YouTube notifications enabled on your cellular device. Hit that sub button, man. 68% of you. Okay, let's get into this film here by my guy Ted. We're going to see what he's talking about here. If you look at this scheme right here, he's saying that there's 2 guys here that need to be blocked that don't end up being blocked. One of them should be taken by Andre James right here, and one should be taken by Harrison Bryant. Okay, so this guy right here is taken by that would be Thayer Mumford or DJ Glaze. I can't tell right now who that is. Harrison Bryant is not supposed to triple team this guy or double team. He's supposed to kick out to this linebacker here, which can create an alley for Zamir White to get through here. Or if Andre James got the right assignment on this middle linebacker right here, we could have another big run here. Instead, they're praying that Jacoby Myers gets to this guy, which is not going to happen ever. And now, all of a sudden, Zamir White can't get through the hole that he could have had for 50, 60 yards, right? Okay. So that's on the O-line. That's assignments missed. Now let's go here. This is completely on Michael Mayer because this is the design we have right here. Michael Mayer is supposed to swing out, hit this guy right here. We're going to have a cutback lane for Zeus. We see how this play develops. This was the cutback lane right here. You hit a little chip here, and then you have a little block here. Instead, Michael Mayer cracks down on somebody that Cole Miller's already got wrapped up, and now Zamir White is toast again. Where's he supposed to go? That was Michael Mayer's assignment right here. So we've seen twice now tight ends Harrison Bryant and Michael Mayer missing the assignments, which is not helping Zamir White at all. However, Zamir White, if we get into it a little bit here, is a little bit to blame with some of the stuff we're missing. This is an outside zone scheme where we're going to get blocks all over the place here, and we're going to get kickback blocks to the linebackers. What Zamir White is supposed to do is bounce this to the outside. If you bounce it to the outside, whoop, he's got some speed to him. Jacoby Myers is the last line of defense here with this corner. And you got a big play. Instead, he tries to cut it back in here, and he's going to get absolutely stuffed because there's a defender waiting for him. He hesitates. He gets tripped up. and he gets tackled. And we could have had a big play here if Zamir White had better vision and was able to bounce it around the outside. So these are good run plays being called by Luke Getsy, and that's what I want to focus on here. Luke Getsy is not the problem. He's scheming wide receivers open, and these guys are missing assignments. Maybe Luke Getsy is not coaching them correctly, but the plays that he's calling are working. And the last one here is going to be an inside zone concept. Zamir White's supposed to take this and pound it right up the gut here. He has an easy cutback lane to get a bunch of yards. If we scrub through here, here's the cutback lane, right? Instead, he bounces it to the outside and gets stuffed again. When this is right here, look at this. Squeeze right through the guys that are blocking for you, the guys in black jerseys. But instead, he bounces it to the outside. It's an absolute problem. People missing assignments. There's people not seeing the right holes. Whatever it is, it's got to be fixed because 32nd in the league is an absolute problem. The next thing we need to talk about is turnovers because look at, again, the Green Bay Packers are leading the league in turnover margin. If you look at all these teams, Green Bay, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, LA, Minnesota, the Rams, all those teams have 2 wins, right? We have 1 win. Where are we in the turnover margin? Minus 1.3, 30th in the league. What's interesting is you see Kansas City is not great either, but they've got Patrick Mahomes under center and Andy Reid coaching. The turnovers have to stop. Gardner Minshew, look, Antonio Pierce has talked about this is we're playing this in quarters. So he's got 4 games to show what he can do. If we're going to win this football game, we need to win the turnover battle. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And this is an absolute problem. We cannot afford with the quarterback play that we have right now to be turning the ball over at the clip that we are, which is why a lot of people want to go to Aiden, even though Aiden, he turned the ball over a little bit last year, but not nearly at the clip that Gardner is. That's an absolute problem. And the last stat we have to check here is opponents' yards per game, which you see we are 30th in. And we're supposed to have a top 5 defense. That is absolutely terrible. Before we continue, I just want to let you know, the Patreon, it's in the description below. You can join it. It's like a YouTube membership thing where you get access to videos early. You get your name at the end of the credits. You get Patreon exclusive videos. If you join the $10 tier, you get all my videos ad-free, and you get monthly YouTube channel advice from yours truly. If you go to the link in the description below, this is where you get access to all this stuff. And you can see right here, this is what the members see. This is ad-free versions and versions of all my videos early. You get exclusive content that isn't posted on YouTube, all that stuff. Link is in the description below. Check that out. Now let's get into the yards per game opponent-wise. We are terrible. And this is going up against the Chargers, who couldn't do next to nothing in the pass game, and Andy Dalton, 378 yards per game. And we have a banged-up defense. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The offense has to find a way to make sure that we possess the ball enough to where we protect what is not a great defense right now. Because if you look at last year, it was 330 a game. Now it's 378. And again, that's a short sample size, but let's look at the top teams in the league. 229 from the Steelers. I said we were going to have to Pittsburgh Steelers this up to win a bunch of games. And right now, the defense has not shown that they can be even remotely close to what the Pittsburgh Steelers are. So those are the 3 things I think we have to focus on. Stop turning the ball over, play way better on defense, and figure out a way to coach these guys to correctly block the run right and to find the holes when necessary. If that means going with Dylan Laube a little bit more than we have, or Alexander Madison, then so be it. Now, I said last video, if you guys comment on my videos and I like them, if they stand out, I'm going to pick 2 and we're going to read them and we're going to discuss them. Let's get into that section of the video right now. The first comment comes from I'm the Dan 2. We talked about prevent defense last week with Aiden, and I said it's not prevent defense, and he agrees with me. He says it's not prevent defense. Aiden did face a soft defense. A defense was content with giving up short passes. He says, sure, they blitzed, but they weren't playing the same rules as they were in the first half against Minshew. The biggest issue is in Minshew or Aiden. We need to fix the run game. You cannot have a successful pass game when the team knows you cannot run. Fix the run game, and the rest of the offense will be fine. I wanted to highlight this comment because I do want to make sure we are clear here that it's not all Gardner Minshew's fault. I do believe the better quarterback is sitting on the bench. Maybe they're protecting him against what is the bad offensive line, protecting him from his confidence being, derailed by having a bad year this year. I don't think you can protect him any more than what he went through last year. But I understand that Minshew is not entirely to blame here, and I wanted to highlight this comment. Thank you, Dan, for commenting that. The next comment comes from J. Michael. This is about Minshew. He says, as a retired QB coach and OC, anyone that watched the All-22 and still says Minshew should be the starter, I question your sanity. Your first play you went over, this video is a single high safety. You will notice the safety is leveraged hash to the left. It's a pre-snap read to look off the safety and to keep his leverage. Look out for Adams, then pull the trigger on the Y. It's an old West Coast concept. Minshew displays over and over again bad eyes and bad footwork. The last game, he was really bad. Sadly, a lot of Raider fans, and more unfortunately, AP thinks Minshew isn't playing bad. It's beyond concerning how blind some people are. A little bit harsh, but I don't disagree with you, J. Michael. Here's the thing. I don't think Antonio Pierce thinks that he's playing well. They must be trying to go with Gardner to survive these first few games before the line is ready to protect Aiden and before the run game is ready. I think they are pulling a Jordan Love maybe with Aiden O'Connell and saying, learn under Minshew, learn the offense, still get your chemistry with Devontae and Jacoby with a little bit of reps here in practice, and then when the line is ready, we're going to unleash you. I just hope that it isn't too little too late for Aiden and for the rest of us, because last year we waited until we were 3-5, and it was too little too late. We went 8-9. If we wait till then again, we might not have enough time to win the rest of these games. If we lose this game against Cleveland and we fall to 1-3, I still think it's time to pull the trigger. We'll see how Minshew plays. I just hope it's not too late to make the switch if that is the best thing for the team. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I didn't say this yet in the video, join the Discord. Link is in the description below. That is completely free. It's a big group chat where we're talking all the time, especially during the Raider games. Join that Patreon. I went over all the tiers. You get your name at the end of the credits, blah, blah, blah. You see everything, the whole 9 yards. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.